My name's Jose. I really enjoyed looking at the case study of Heidi Rozen because it allowed me to see somebody who has had a long career and has a great network and how they were able to utilize that network for their benefit. I would say that throughout their career, there are two main stages highlighted in the case study where she was able to develop her network. The first stage is really the growing stage, that part of her career where she focused on just getting to know as many people and being able to really expand her network as much as possible. She did that through Tandem, which was the first company that she joined straight out of school, where she mentions that she learned how to be exposed to senior leaders. She learned the proper etiquette. And I think it allowed her to touch a diverse group of people because, as editor of the company's newsletter, she had to work with CEOs, she had to work with people who had just had a baby, had just gotten married, and that allowed her that opportunity to branch out and really get to know many individuals. At Teammaker and Deluxe, however, she had to get creative. She had to start joining different groups and having sharing activities that she had with other individuals. It led her to really get to know people at a personal level and to begin adding value. So at this stage of her career, her network is really just diverse. It's very young because she mentions that she got to know people who were not famous. She didn't just try to focus on CEOs, but she wanted to get to know people who were talented, who had potential, and who were going places. The second stage of her career, more of her experienced years, are where she focused more on managing her network. At this point, her network had become quite large. It had a lot of different individuals, those young, talented people that she had gotten to know, who are going places and who founded their own careers, their own companies, and went on to have successful careers. And there were people that she kept in touch with. At this point, her network, while at Apple and while being a mental capitalist, was more or less self-sustaining. She had to call in some favors and interact with different individuals, but those people began reaching out to her as well. They were referring younger startups to her. They were putting her in contact with other individuals, and so her network began to grow without her having to have a lot of networking activities with that purpose. However, she does manage what I think is a crucial thing, that her network wasn't just work. It became very social. Her personal and her professional life became intertwined. She mentions having people over at her house all the time, and creating that link between, those work relationships that also become friends. That is a very fine line to walk, obviously, but it's apparent that she was able to do so very successfully. And so I think that is probably the biggest strength of her network at this point in her career, that it was very personable. She knew those individuals by name. She had developed relationships and had deep conversations with them that she can dig up later on in life and make sure that she's staying in touch with them. As far as the main concepts from the module that were critical to her success, I'd say first and foremost, the thing that stands out is the concept of givers and takers that Adam Grant discusses. Although she doesn't quite strike me as a giver, I would say she's more of a matcher because she's constantly focusing on making sure that everybody's getting a fair amount of giving and a fair amount of taking. And she mentions many times that she's very conscious of people's time and how she uses that time when she is networking with them. However, she is very modest, and she mentions that she tried her best to help individuals. You can see that while working for SoftBank, she would take time to reply to startups that would submit their proposals, even though she wasn't going to support them financially. She wanted to still be able to give them some feedback so they could use that, hopefully, and grow from wherever they may go. She was also very persuasive. Her network was very persuasive. She had consistency over many years of keeping in touch with individuals. They knew that they could trust her. They knew that she was very focused in what she was doing, and she had built that authority that is crucial when you're reaching out to somebody to ask them to help you with anything. She was also very likable. Everybody quotes that they liked being around her. They enjoyed her company and the company of her family. And that goes a long way when you have such a large network and you know so many individuals, to make sure that you're still a normal person, that you are able to relate to them, and that they're, individuals are able to relate to you. And last but not least, I think the other concept that greatly applies here is the concept of being a broker, brought up by Uzi and Dunlap. The concept that you should be able to refer other individuals within your network to folks they may not know, and to act as that connector and as nucleus of your network. I think overall, Rosen, proved that having a network is not only critical, but it can also be a lot of fun and it can be successful. She had a network that was very large. It became self-sustaining, and it was more than just about work. And that, I believe that's a huge part of what made her so successful.